Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MXGP 2021. Now it's been a while since I've featured MXGP on this channel, but after playing it recently and then doing this video here, I just had to upload something again for MXGP. I've been playing it in my spare time and I've been really getting back into this dirt bike game. I really enjoy MXGP and I thought it'd be a nice opportunity to make a video on it. I have been looking at the achievements recently and trying to get some of the miscellaneous ones that I'm yet to complete, and this one was one of them. It was to complete a race at 100% race distance, so basically a full race from the same standard as a real life venue. So here in Os, I just had to give it a try. I'm pretty competitive in this circuit and I quite like the Honda, so combining them two together, 100% difficulty with 100% race distance, we'll see what we can produce. Now it's going to be a 30+ minute race, this one, so certainly strap in for it, and if you're not prepared, maybe save it for a later date so you can watch the entirety of this battle, because believe me when I tell you, this one gets interesting. Very interesting. It might look like we have the ability just to pull away from the realistic AI, but I would be lying. There's certainly more to it in this particular Grand Prix weekend. So race 1 here in Os, it's down to us to get the victory. Now the achievement states complete a race at 100% race distance, but I believe the last time I did that on a previous MXGP race, I think I came second in a different MXGP game, it never gave me the achievement, so I'm assuming complete also means finish at the top of the pile in first place. So if it does, then we need to finish first. If it doesn't, then we can finish second or anything below, but you know me, I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I want to win, so I'm going to be going all out to get a victory. So here in Os, already one lap is done, 28 minutes or just under 28 minutes remain with a decent lead. It's nothing to get too excited about, but there's also nothing to get too calm about, because Alessandro Lupino is still just a second behind us, and there isn't anywhere really here in Os that gives me a big advantage. Now you look at my other career modes in such as MXGP, MotoGP, Superbike, or even the videos we've done in Ride 4, there seems to be always a spot where you can really dominate against the AI. And here in Os, I've not really found a spot where I could say I'm not too concerned, because this particular sector is coming up, this corner is coming up, and this is where I usually gain more time. Not really like that. I've been under pressure already, and the pressure is only going to continue throughout this race. And already to the right hand side we are getting pressured from behind to the left, and possibly even to the right hand side as well. Looks to be that Jorge Prado has now got through and he is getting involved with this battle for first place. So I am using my own custom bike, well, my own custom rider with the own custom bike, and unfortunately the first mistake of this one, getting too close to the apex there, gets caught up onto it, and for some reason we do a very weird moment where we turn and we go straight and we go vertical and we can't turn the bike in. So unfortunately cutting the track as well with quotation marks there. I don't think we did cut the track, I think it was just simply a weird angle that the bike got caught in, and now it's time for us to try and fight back. So panic stations a little bit, because in MXGP they have a tendency just to bolt away from you when they get the lead, so we need to fight back and we need to regain that first position. And of course guys, if you are enjoying the video so far, why not hit the like button and consider subscribing as well. But now into the left hand side and back over to the right. Do prefer the tighter apex there. That tighter berm is much preferred for me. I feel it works well with the Honda and it works well with my configuration and controls as well. Now I'm actually using the DualSense controller for this one. If you didn't know already, for MotoGP and Ride 4 and the other bike games, I always use the DualShock 4 controller, which is of course the PS4 controller. But here in MXGP and even in the Monster Energy Supercross games, I do tend to use the PS5 controller. I find it just, it's an opportunity for me to use that controller basically, and I just like to try it out with the different bikes and the different games. So sticking with the PS5 controller, I do feel quite confident, but there's always something in my mind with MXGP 21, and that's the right analog stick. You can push it in quite far and you can really throw the bike over. It's just too much pressure on the right analog stick can throw the bike, and it just pushes itself down. Don't really have much confidence in it, so some of these tighter corners I'm going quite gentle with the right analog stick. Just noticed that Jorge Prado seemed to have either crashed or went off the circuit, because he's now lost the lead to Alessandro Lupino. So KTM in there in the scrap, and of course another KTM to the left hand side in the form of Lupino, but getting really close there, just wanting to cut the gap. Unfortunately bit off a bit more than we could chew and bumped into the side of him. You can see them both going quite slow for this penultimate corner here. We're going to try and fight back as we get into this very short jump here. The last thing you want to do for a jump like that is to overshoot it, but a 1:52 lap time for us, 1:50 for people behind us. Riders getting very competitive as we get very close to the little sandbags to the left hand side. But now into the left. This is an opportunity for us, so into the right hand to go for that tighter berm, up on the inside, 2 for 1, we take over the lead and we get back in front with 24 minutes plus 2 laps remaining here in Os. Brilliant performance, back into the lead. That's exactly what I needed, and it's exactly what we've done to recapture the lead. Felt very confident into that first corner and still do. So if we do lose the lead, I guess that's another spot I'll be trying to get back in front of. So with 24 minutes remaining, it's still a long time for this MXGP race here in the Netherlands, but you never know what's going to happen. Heavens could open, things could occur, I could crash, riders ahead of us or behind us could get involved. Who knows what is going to happen? Just keep watching. I can assure you it's definitely worth sticking around for, if the commentary wasn't already, so keep a good close eye on this particular race. But I do feel like I need to improve my lap time. 1:52, 1:53 is not really going to get the job done, so we need to get a little bit more confident and start using the right analog stick to a better effect, to really throw the rider's weight and the bike's weight into the berms rather than just trying to gradually go into the corner. So it's a bit of a battle brewing up behind us. Roman Febvre and Jorge Prado are certainly jostling for position from 3rd and 4th. You've seen the graphic come up in the bottom left hand corner of your screen there quite a lot. But now back over to the right hand side. Going to go for the wider line or back over to the inside. It's either one is up to you, but I do prefer that tighter apex. That tighter berm seems to be the better one for me. But across the line, unfortunately, that is again another slow lap, so a 1:52.9. But all that matters is we still have the advantage. We still have the lead, and we're still in a pretty solid and comfortable rhythm at this stage of the MXGP race. So now into that famous berm that we made that wonderful overtake on the lap prior. Now a couple of jumps to follow as well. So big leap here to try and get into the decline of the corner. And into the jump, should I say, rather than the corner. But now into this corner. No berm here, so there's nothing really to drag you around the corner. A little bit of a scrub for you. I don't tend to do many of them. My confidence kind of struggles a little bit when it comes to the whips and the scrubs. I don't mind in Supercross, but for some reason MXGP I can never really get the right landing. I feel like I push the bike quite far over, and then as I return back, it doesn't go back into a natural position, so it always lands a little bit skew-whiff, and when that happens the bike goes a bit out of shape. It starts cutting some weird and wonderful shapes as you try and fight it to stand as its natural position, but unfortunately I just never seem to have the confidence to do it, so it's better to usually skip it rather than doing that, although it does help in certain jumps as well. Well, looking at the graphic on the bottom left hand corner of your screen, that is the map, and you will see 4 riders all charging to have a piece of the lead here in the MXGP of Os. Jorge Prado, Roman Febvre, Alessandro Lupino, and it might even be, I couldn't say, but there is another one in 5th position. So I've got to keep an eye on that, but also not pay too much attention, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a long race yet. Still plenty of time. Don't really need to be focusing too much on what's happening behind. Just continue to put in some good lap times. Now, this lap time is not going to set the world on fire, but it's going to be a decent enough lap time to keep us up there. Getting back into the 52s is much better than dropping into the 53s. Keep away from the 53s, and I think we should have this one in the bag. If we can get into the 52s and 51s, then I'm going to start feeling rather confident, but I know not to push too much. With a race like we do in MotoGP or in Superbike, there's 7 or 8 laps of a sprint, let's be honest. It's a battle of attrition. But here with a 100% race, it's a more of a thinking man's game. We've got to think about it, we've got to be smart, and we've got to be tactful. And that is what I'm aiming to achieve here as we now approach just under 20 minutes of the MXGP of Os. So now into the left-hand side, back over to the left once more. We'll get a pretty large jump here to land it at a nice angle, just to get the bike in. You go too deep there, you run the risk of running it in too wide, then going into the left-hander is then going to put you in a very difficult circumstance and situation to then get the bike back over. And I know this Honda feels great, it certainly looks great, I customised it earlier on, but I just feel like we'd be pushing the Honda too much if I try and go too wide into that corner. There's a few points in this circuit that the jumps are a little bit blind, so when you go up them it looks like you're going to land straight, but you have to actually adjust before the corner or before the lift to make sure you don't overshoot it. But this one has been a very solid lap time. 2.9 seconds the gap was to Romain Febvre there. Now, it's a little bit misleading. It could be that we're having a very good lap, or it could simply be that those guys behind us are having too much of a squabble. It certainly looks like it from the graphic constantly popping up on the left hand side of the screen, but approaching this penultimate corner now into this corner here, it does look like we're going to improve the lap time. We are getting a 51.1, a very solid lap time. This is the moment where we need to make that break. You get over the second advantage and usually it's curtains. You break the resolve from the rider behind you and it just pushes that much pressure onto the other riders. So I think we're looking quite well. I'm just a little bit concerned with the fastest lap time being a 1:49. Not entirely sure who set that, but we aren't setting 1:49s, I can assure you. It seems to be here in MXGP 21 that the AI tend to put in some crazy lap times, but when they catch you, they don't really have the confidence to make a move. And I think we've seen that earlier with Jorge Prado getting caught up behind Alessandro Lupino, and then the same thing happening a couple of corners later, or even a couple of laps later, when Lupino caught up to Jorge Prado. We're now into the tighter apex, that nice tight line. I do prefer that for this section of corners here, this change of direction. Do very much enjoy this, the MXGP of the Netherlands. We go too wide to the wall. Oh, hearts in mouths, ladies and gentlemen, as we almost landed on the fence. Don't want to be doing that, not here. Might have to clean the old goggles in a minute, pull off the tear off, and hopefully we can have a better vision and view of the circuit of Os. Now, something I do enjoy with MXGP is actually prefer playing within the helmet cam. Much prefer it rather than using a third person. I think the third person in MXGP is it looks a little bit off. I think the rider's positioning on the bikes and the rider weight, it's very unimmersive. I'm not a big fan of using it that way. I do love the third person for other games such as MotoGP, Superbike, etc. If you've watched the channel before, you'll know I do prefer to use the third person perspective. But here in the dirt bike games, I do very much enjoy just going full gung-ho with the helmet cam, from MXGP to Supercross as well. And now, speaking of the Supercross game, inevitably I will be getting my hands on Monster Energy Supercross 6, so if you're looking forward to the game or if you're wanting to see content on that, let me know in the comments section down below. I do look forward to, hopefully, a big improvement from Monster Energy Supercross. Yet to see any footage or any true gameplay as of yet, but I'll be keeping my eye out and hopefully get my hands on it soon, so I can give my first impressions and everything else involved with Monster Energy Supercross 6. So it's quite a difficult title to say that too many times. But as we now go into the part of the track that really gives me trouble, I've been avoiding the left line for that particular moment of track there. I don't know whether I should probably brave it and give it a try. If it ain't broke, then don't try and fix it, but I'm keen to see if it does give us any benefit. And with an advantage that we've got, 5.2 seconds to be precise, there's no reason why we can't try that line. And here in MXGP, there may not be track deformation as people have requested for years, but there's still a chance that a certain part of the track could have just come away a little bit, because sometimes you go into some lines that feel heavily used and it does feel a little bit different. It could be a placebo effect, or it just could be an actual some form of a track deformation, not to the degree we want or the degree that the players have requested, just to a certain amount. But now into the right hand side, something has just caught my attention and I didn't want this to happen. We've caught the back markers up, or at least we are catching the back markers up. To the right, well, to the left of where we were, it looked like there was a couple of riders. Yes, and you can see in the map there in the bottom left-hand corner. That's something to pay attention to, and oh my goodness. My eyes do not deceive me, ladies and gentlemen. The heavens have opened. I told you to be aware of what could happen in this long, long race, and exactly what has happened that I didn't want to happen. In previous MXGP games, I felt rather confident in the wet conditions, and I do feel pretty confident with MXGP 21 in the wet conditions, but after being on the bike and after being on the track with a dry situation for so long, approaching 15 minutes now, I am not ready to start thinking about wet conditions. It feels okay for now because of course it is just a little bit of rain, and hopefully Van Donnick will move out of the way here because he is holding us up dramatically as the wet conditions are going to come down. We need to get past him, so up on the inside of the Yamaha, excuse me, straight out of his way because he has just cost us a dramatic amount of time. We'll not get to see it until the next sector, so keep an eye out for the gap times here, ladies and gentlemen. Van Donnick is still there, but I don't know what the gap was to either him, Hoy Prado, or it might have been Alessandro Lupino behind us. So it's just showing us Van Donnick for now as we try and get past Giod. Oh, massive contact there. We're trying to go into the same corner at the same time there. I've got to get on with it. I can't be waiting for the blue flags to eventually come out, which they don't seem to be ever coming out. Giod is there, and he is not moving. He is now a moving roadblock for Alessandro Lupino. So we've had the disaster of both hitting the rain first and, of course, hitting the back markers. The back markers has really cost us. Look at that! We did a 1:55.088. That has cost us at least 3 to 4 seconds. Disaster. Oh, that's annoying. That is damn annoying. And that is Lupino behind us. The gap that we had has gone. It is now down to this. Do we hold on? Do we survive for 12.5 minutes plus 12 plus 2 more laps? Pressure is on here, ladies and gentlemen. Lupino is 1.2 seconds behind. It's pretty much inevitable at this point if we don't adapt to these wet conditions. Bike feels sluggish. Slipping, sliding, not able to get the spots that I want to do. Tight apex for the defensive line. Pretty confident so far. Do we go for the left-hand side? Give it a try, why not? Felt pretty good. Why not? Give that another try, actually. It was certainly a chance to a try, and we did go for it there. Nice tight apex now into the right-hander. Keep it into the low berm. And then we'll start bringing on the power to then attack another back marker. Now, it's a simple fix. Get the AI to move out the way when they receive a blue flag, but I didn't see any blue flags. Maybe the AI doesn't want to move. Maybe the AI is working in tandem with Lupino right now to stop us from winning this 100% race, distant race. Who knows? But all I know is we're under pressure once more. Change of weather is certainly not ideal. It's not what I wanted. And now going up to a back marker while trying to contend with the rain and to contend with Lupino is certainly making for interesting content. We now go to the right. I don't like that tighter line there. I'm not a big fan of going slow over the bump and then trying to make this corner. So going for the slow berm here. Nice and tight. Good entrance and good exit there as well. You've got to be careful in the exit there because you don't want to go too early on the acceleration because you end up touching the sign and end up crashing. It's a 1:54.9, so not a good lap time. The wet has really cost us. The slipping and sliding in certain corners, especially going into turn 1 now, I don't have that confidence to push very strong on the right analog stick. The right analog stick moves the bike's weight, so when you're pushing the bike into a corner, you got to move it to a maybe 80% push rather than a full 100% push on the right analog stick. 0.6 of a second is Lupino behind. The rain doesn't look like it's going to let up either. I don't think this is just a small shower. I think this is here to stay. And Lupino is also here to stay. And he is ready to battle at any point that this can occur. Going for the inside-outside line. Didn't quite like that as much as the previous suggestion, but now getting close to Tonnes. Wow! Very close to hitting yet again another Yamaha. We do make the pace and get through, but what cost? At what cost are we going to keep getting close to these back markers? We seem to have escaped some of them. Looking at the graphic and trying to see ahead as well on the circuit. There is one, but I don't think we'll reach that one for at least a good couple of laps yet. Good chunk of time has passed now. We're down to less than 10 minutes plus 2 laps. We have a great chance of victory here, but the pressure is on. This is for the achievement. This is for a victory. Can we get it done here in the MXGP of Netherlands? Thank goodness we cleaned off our visor there as well. I can finally see again. I do like that added realism and added challenge to the helmet cam here in MXGP 2021. But now into the right hand side. Good apex there. Oh, Lupino has gone down. Oh, that is a huge, huge moment for us. We managed to improve our lap time for 7/10 of a second, and now it's Jorge Prado on the prowl. Is that Jorge Prado behind us right now? He's probably the man who's just put in a 1:49.522, or probably something similar. At this stage of the race, Lupino and Prado are actually neck and neck, so that's them behind us. And I think Tonus is still in there as well. So Tonus is the moving roadblock. He isn't there yet. I think Lupino and Prado have probably dispatched of him already. But oh, look at the graphic, look at the map. I think we've got a Kawasaki ahead of us. Is that Ivo Monticelli? It is Ivo Monticelli. Who else is going to be up there as well? What else can you throw at me, game? What else do you fancy? Is the controller going to die next? Is the game going to crash? What next? What are you going to hit us with? Oh, we're close to the Kawasaki there. Really close to the rear of the Monster Energy Kawasaki, but we're still on it. And oh, whoa, God. Monticelli almost came off, and we almost did the exact same thing, getting too close to Monticelli and not landing the bike straight. It's going to cost us in those corners. Right boot out there to try and balance us round the corner. Getting really close now, and oh my goodness, so is Prado. The move has struck. We've struck. Oh, what a move. We've struck gold. We had to strike where we could. Strike when the irons were hot, and they were absolutely piping hot as we made the move around the outside of Ivo Monticelli. It's aggressive, it's bold, but it had to be done to maintain this lead. Savell in there with Boges, Lupino, Prado behind us. This is gonna be difficult. Certainly a challenge and a half here for the MXGP of Os. Big leap over there. Look at us getting into a good rhythm now. A 153, 1 something I think it was, 140 with Savell in. Got certainly close to us as we try and attack the Italian for the left hand side. Did we make it through? We did. Then up on the inside of Boges. Brilliant. We got past them both without too much of a hindrance. 7 minutes and 2 laps remain. Pressure still on. Oh, moment. Oh, moment. A moment and a half there, ladies and gentlemen, as we didn't land the bike straight once again. And now we have to do it all again. Back into the rhythm, back into the strengths of the Honda. Going for that wider line this time around. Round that tight berm. Now to the left-hand side. Keep it in if we can. Nice gentle drop. Chuck it over to the left-hand side. Underneath the city sign. Don't jump too high. And then back over to the left. A little bit deep there. Didn't quite get the entry for that left-hander there. As Jorge Prado is in pursuit. To the left-hand side we shall go. Bring on the jump. Nice landing. It's not a bad landing. It's better than what we did earlier when trailing behind Ivo Monticelli. It's still not perfect, and the pressure. Looks like the AI behind us went a little bit deep upon that jump. And we have a small reprieve. The gap is 1 second to Prado, but I think at this stage it's theirs to take it from me rather than me to lose it to them. And what I mean by that is I'm in a pretty comfortable rhythm, doing what I need to do, just focusing on the corners and focusing on the job ahead of us rather than just worrying too much on what's happening behind. They're the ones who got to catch us up, and then they're the ones who got to make the move stick. We're all right. We're good. I'll keep telling myself that anyway, but we did lose time on this lap. That's a bad lap time. A 154.9 is not going to cut it. That's only going to put us into the clutches of Prado and Lupino behind us. The KTMs are in pursuit. Don't fancy losing this one now. Now back into the tight berm that gave us the lead How many laps ago? Probably 5, probably 6, maybe 7. A lot of laps ago. But now with a big jump, landing where we want it. Another big jump here. Good stuff. As we'll bring on the defence to Lupino once more. Now into the tight part. Not as tight as I like, but it's not bad. It's not a bad corner with less than 5 minutes remaining. And I believe that is another KTM back marker. It is Henry Jacobi ahead of us. I think we'll catch him up in no time at all, but let me tell you guys, the pressure that I'm under right now, this is sheer stress. This is no joke. I really wish I had the foresight to wear my heart rate monitor for this particular one. I think it would have been sky high with what we're under right now. The AI is still there. And this is the closest they've been. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be the moment. Defensive posture. Brace yourself. Steel yourself, because we could be experiencing an overtake sooner rather than later. Prado, Lupino are just constantly stepping over themselves. They're just tripping each other up. They should be working together here to try and chase us down. They can certainly do battle after they've beaten us, but for now, they're just getting onto each other's toes. Stepping on each other's toes and causing each other mischief is not a good idea. Had to take the inside line there because Henry Jacobi has definitely claimed that position. And now for the wider apex for this part here. Not my preferred line. Losing time. You can see the distance that Jacobi gained on us there, as we need to get through. I can't be spending more time behind Henry Jacobi. I'm going to have to just shove my way through. I'm going to go around the outside. It's aggressive. It is absolutely aggressive. If you don't like that, then I'm sorry, there's nothing else I can do for you. I'm under too much pressure to try and gauge on where I can go through on Henry Jacobi. If he went for the inside line here, then that would have been an absolute waste of an opportunity. I'm sorry, but back marker, he's got to go. Blue flags, everything else that should have been out there, and he still didn't move out the way. 3 minutes remain. The pressure is palpable, ladies and gentlemen. I can feel it. The stress that we're under right now to secure the victory here in the MXGP of Netherlands. Into the right hand side. I'm going to go back over to the left. Little jump. Nice, gentle landing here. Bring on the power. And we're gaining some more time against the riders behind. The KTMs are still in pursuit. And yet again, we have met another back marker. It's Arminas Jaskones. A great talent, but right now, he is not proving his worth, and he's going to be hindering us and hindering our performance to improve dramatically. So I need... Oh, that's not good! That's not good! Oh! Good landing. Scary moment there. If we hit that fence, that would have been it. Curtains is what would have happened. Fin, end of it all, would have been for us. Too much pressure, too much stress getting to us right now. Got to stay focused, got to stay calm, and got to keep plodding on. Keep focusing on the rider ahead of us, follow his lines, and then go for the lunge when we can. But look at the gap. Oh my goodness, good jump over the top of Jaskones. Not quite. We certainly thought about it. We certainly would have landed on him if we weren't careful. We're back into the right-hand side. We're going to meet Jaskones at the worst possible part again, as I'm going to have to try and fire it up. Coming up the inside this time. Oh! Massive contact with Arminas Jaskones. Number 7 getting shoved wide as we finally get back over to where we need to be. Clear track ahead. Certainly not clear skies. That's a different story in itself. But with riders behind us, I hope that is Jaskones is the closest one. I guess we'll find out in a matter of moments. Another scary moment on the jump there. Having a look behind. It's not us, Jaskones, it's Prado. Prado has bettered Lupino. Lupino has dropped off. Prado is still pushing. And the problem here is that we were actually fortunate that them two were scrapping. But now that Prado's not scrapping with anyone, he is right there, and he has an opportunity to put us under some more intense, serious pressure. Back over to the right there. Something happened to Jorge Prado. I don't think we've got a gift from the gods yet, but we did have something to favour us right now. And Lupino and Prado are back at it again. What on earth happened to Prado then? He must have made a moment. He had some sort of scary moment, but it's still not over yet. 25 seconds of this particular race time remains, and then it is down to the final 2 laps. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Cairoli time is about to turn into ace time. And that's what we need right now. Lupino and Prado, they're slipping off somewhat. Either this is an astonishing lap time coming in from us, or it's just that Prado and Lupino are falling off a cliff. Who knows? I guess we'll find out once we complete this lap. Into the final corner, and yeah, you can see it's a 1:48 so far. This is not a bad lap time. A respectable lap time in the wet conditions. It's 1:53.524, and that is the signal for the final 2 laps here in the MXGP of the Netherlands. 2 more pressured, intense lap times about to come in. Can we deliver? We've done such a stellar job so far. Can we continue? The voice is going there, apologies, as we're still under massive pressure to keep on and get the win here in Os. Surely we can do it. Into the right, downshifting to second, little bit of a jump here, and the pressure, look at the gap, look at the graphic. They're right there. We're going to go for the wider line again. If they go for that tighter apex, they might get alongside us here. Into the left, the small jump, little jump over here to the left. Back over again to the left. Keep it in nice and tight, use a bit of rear brake to chuck the Honda in. And we still have a great chance, so as we pulled a few tenths away from Lupino and Prado. There's another rider in there now. Could it be Roman Febvre? We've seen him earlier on in the battle. Who else is it going to be? Who else wants a piece of this one? Could even be Tim Geiser, and that's when the panic will certainly hit in. Or even worse, it could be Jeffrey Hurlings. Panic is setting in. We mustn't panic, we must stay strong, and we must keep on pushing. Over the small jump here, and probably into my favourite part of the track. I like to think I gain a bit of time here over the AI. I don't think it's a massive amount, but it's a little bit. And now into the right hand side, nice and tight, and back over to the left. Mustn't bring on the power too early and getting caught on the grass. We did alright there, not a bit too early, but still good. 1.5, maybe 1.25 laps left in this one. Almost done. Almost got the job finished. Almost got the victory. Back over to the right. We didn't do a good lap time there. 54.6. Lost about 7 tenths, maybe a little bit more. Might be 1.7, I can't remember, but we lost a lot of time in that exchange. Now back over to the left. The graphic, the map, they're right there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final lap of the MXGP of the Netherlands. I can hear the other bikes, I can hear the... I just don't even know what to say. I can hear the bikes, but I know they're there. You can feel the presence. This is down to this. 8 tenths of a second is Prado. We've got to stay in the lead. If they beat us, I just don't think we've got another opportunity to get past them. This is too much. This is pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, we've almost done it. Nice change of direction here. Don't mess it up into that left-hander, because it's critical that we keep on pushing for that moment. The two of them are right there. Do they tag team us? Do they pinch it? Or are they running out of time? They are running out of time somewhat, but they've just got it. They're still exchanging positions. They're getting over each other and stepping on each other's toes, as I've mentioned before. That could save us. This moment, after this particular jump, they do get a little bit scary. Has anyone... Oh, no, they're still good. They're on it. Sometimes they do go a little bit wide there and mess it up, but none of that happening this time. They're right behind us. One of them's just come up a little bit short there. Lupino in second, desperate to fight down us, who are leading this Grand Prix. We have another back marker ahead of us, but I don't think we'll see them by the conclusion of this MXGP race, and I think we've got the job done. The infighting of Lupino and Prado may have just saved us. We are 1 corner away, or 2 corners after this one has completed. It's be 1, and there we go. We've done it, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to win here in the MXGP of the Netherlands. It's going to be close, but we've hung on to the end and took victory on board the Honda. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that one. There is the 3 KTMs that were in pursuit. More so Prado and Lupino, of course, from 2nd and 3rd. But wow, tough race. Really enjoyed that one. The pressure, the stress, it made it for a cracking video. So guys, I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and consider becoming a member of the channel as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now, with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.